waiting for
By
us.
the way,
We are
we
live.
are live.
So, here we are, back in action again.
Yeah, wait,
Andy,
let
it's nice to
me,
see you.
yes, 1 second. We need to get back here into our technical exercises. Welcome to, where are you actually right now?
Well, David Sharp and myself, we're sitting here at the Center for British Photography in Mayfair, London, England. And we're sitting amongst some beautiful works of art, some photographs from Mr. Brian Griffin, who's going to be joining us shortly, because we are doing the Lensman 1 pound draw, which started with Brian Griffin, having introduced us to the Center for British Photography. And today we'll be giving away one of his special edition watches, plus 2 of the standard edition watches, the black and the yellow.
Indeed.
David, what do you have to say?
What I have to say. So we have this, absolutely. So we have the draw going, and it will be the fairest draw ever. We're going to do a draw to decide which colour gets drawn first, then we're going to draw for that specific colour. So there's absolutely no ambiguity as to which one we are drawing for first, correct?
Mm-hmm. Correct.
Yeah, and as I said, we are having some challenges with the connection, so don't move too much. Just talk, then you will be very sharp on my side and on the YouTube front end. But overall, I think it looks good. Yeah,
Okay.
just a little fun in between, yeah. Some technical challenges
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah, I think there's possibly a little delay with the internet
Yeah,
connection
that's
here.
okay. As long as you don't move heavily, then it looks very good.
Yeah, the most important detail is that the draw is happening on
Yes,
your end,
yes,
Andy.
yes.
You'll be running
I'm
the
actually
selection of the
handling a lot of
numbers.
screens and software here. So please forgive me if I'm pressing some wrong buttons once in a while. As long as everything is fair,
Yeah,
it's good.
so,
Okay.
all right, we already have some questions coming in here. We'll get to them. We have somebody asking about how many entries, but let's start with a little backstory, Andy. If you don't mind going to the second slide
Yeah.
there. We'll just give a little overview about what we're going to be talking about today and how this whole draw process will be taking place.
And don't be confused.
So
I'm
essentially we're
switching
gonna-
a little bit between the screens, yeah. So that optimal
Correct.
positioning and depending on where the content is, we will move around a little bit, yeah. Okay.
So the Lensman backstory, we'll start with we're going to be going into that. We're going to talk about the Center for British Photography, a little bit about Brian Griffin as well and his works. He's going to step in here in a little bit. We'll talk about how much was raised, the details of the draw, which will obviously will present the draw, and the next steps from there. So a little bit on the backstory. And if you don't mind going to the next
Yeah.
slide, we started with the Tourbillon $1 a few years ago. We were looking at what we should do with these additional prototype watches that we had left over from production. Typically, they end up in a company's archive, and we wanted to do something special with them. So we took these timepieces, and we went to the local watchmaking school in Solothurn, and visited this new one, and asked if he would like us to run a donation with him. And of course, they do need equipment all the time, and they do rely on some donations from various companies. So with the help of the community, we raised quite a few thousand Swiss francs for them, and also gave away 6 Tourbillon 1 prototype
Prototypes,
watches. Following that, we did a fundraiser as well for Ukraine, where we raised a significant amount of funds for food donations.
40,000, I
to
think.
support the community.
I think it was roughly 40,000.
It was around, it was a significant amount at that time. And we had also quite a few watches to give away too. We had one of each color, so it was the Jetstream gray, the white, we had blue, atoll blue, black as well. And everybody's received those watches. They're absolutely thrilled with them. And of course, we wanted to continue with this story. Yeah. And some years ago, I met with somebody who's a close friend of mine now, Brian Griffin, in a little pub in Rotherhithe, the Blacksmith Arms.
I show it in the
we
big,
started chatting
because it's such a nice picture.
Yeah. It's a beautiful place. I was actually at a conference and I was looking for an escape plan. Should the conference become somewhat boring, and I had spotted this pub out of the corner of my eye, and it was a good decision to go in there because Brian ended up sitting down next to me and we chatted for a number of hours, and which turned into a friendship and an ambassadorship now with Orage. And we were able to do a watch together with him. Yeah, everything all right over there, Andy?
Everything good. I'm just looking if everything is okay here.
Running smoothly so far.
we don't want to have any interruption technically, you know.
Mm-hmm.
No, just
Okay,
go on.
so yeah, we'll just move along there into the next one.
This is
And
the man.
as I
This is
mentioned
the man.
before, this is the man right here. Yeah, so there's Mr. Brian Griffin, Professor Brian Griffin, and he's there with his Lensman 2 watch. It's been a very special project. We've had a lot of people support this project because it's the first ever exposure calculator watch that's been produced for photography and watch enthusiasts. And it is quite a rarity in the watch space, and it, not just from the function aspect of it, but also the micro rotor that we put into it as well. 24-hour GMT with platinum micro rotor. So, yeah.
Since that time, by the way, I also understand how that works. Since we made that watch.
Absolutely. Yeah, so using innovative materials, whether it be the case, which is the kind of combination of aluminum and titanium on there as well. Obviously the micro rotor movement, which we've talked about, one of the, if not the most efficient micro rotor potentially on the Swiss market as well. Very thin, so lots of amazing features about this watch as well. And the production versions of these are very near to being ready to be shipped out, hoping to get all of the pre-orders for the Lensman 2s shipped. I think by middle of December, I think that's where we're at with production. Right. So genuinely only maybe 3 to 4 weeks away from all of these being delivered to their lucky owners. Then obviously after that, the winners of these 3 watches that we are using for this kind of campaign will be then double checked before being sent out to their owners as well. So should we introduce Brian?
Actually, we're going to introduce James.
James first, a new
James,
name to the fold.
James Hyman.
Well, I'm going to just step out to let James come in. A quick microphone change. Pardon the noise.
So we'll move along to the next slide there, Andy.
Yeah.
All right, so how did this start? We were looking for a charity project to support with the Lensman 1 pound. And I called Brian up out of the blue and said, Brian, I'm working on this idea for a charity project. And I was wondering if you had any suggestions of who we could support with a giveaway of watches. And his very first thing that came out of his mouth was, you need to support the Center for British Photography and James Hyman. So James, I'll let you speak about the center and the charity.
Thank you, Landon. The first thing to say really is a big thank you. I'm very grateful to Brian Griffin for putting us in touch, and very grateful to you, Landon, and your team for working on this project with us. We're really, really excited to be collaborating with you and for raising money in this way for our grants program. So to say something briefly about the charity, we set up in 2020 to support photography in Britain. It's not about nationality, it's about just people working here. So in fact what we're trying to do is to celebrate the range of photography, the diversity of what is happening here. And we do that in different ways. We're sitting in the Centre for British Photography in Jermyn Street in central London. We've got 8,000 square feet here. We put on exhibitions. We've actually got 6 exhibitions on at the moment. We also have events, workshops, talks. And part of what we're trying to do increasingly in the future is to give grants and to support photographers in that way so that they can work on projects, finish projects that they might not otherwise be able to fund. And so working on this with Orage has been fantastic for us because it's an opportunity to launch next week our first grants program. And that will be an opportunity for photographers at all stages of their career, from very, very young, out of college photographers who really need help in an initial project, to perhaps older photographers who just haven't had the opportunity to finish something. And so they will be able to apply to us for money. and we will be able to support them in their practice.
Fantastic. And so you mentioned the grants program will be launched next week, and the funds that we've raised will be the initial way of kickstarting or launching the grants program together with you.
Yes, so the funds raised through this collaboration will be funding it for its first year. We hope that this will be a grants program that we do each year in future. But, you know, we're really, really delighted to be launching it now. And I think particularly at this particular moment, it'll be a really supportive, helpful thing for our community.
Great. Well, thank you. And if anybody has any questions about the center, they want to hop into the comments here on YouTube, ask any questions. I saw one that's coming up for Brian that possibly you can answer here shortly. Feel free, and we'll ask James as we go through the show. But I'm going to have Dave come in here and Brian, and we'll move along here with the show. We'll talk a little bit about watch and some of Brian's work. Thank you, James.
And thank you again.
Thank you.
Yeah, so as we're moving along here, Andy, we'll move on to the next slide, which of course we'll talk about Lensman 1 pound and what is exactly included in this offer. So essentially, it's the 3 watches. We're giving away 3 watches today, and with each of these watches, we'll be including 4 prints, 4 limited edition prints signed by Mr.
Shall I
Brian
jump
Griffin,
into that slide?
Yeah, and as I mentioned that, I'll have Brian come and sit down, and I'll step out and let David and Brian sit here together.
Making Brian up as we speak.
Okay, Brian. All right, come over here, have a seat.
And as if by magic,
I appear.
the Professor appears. So here we have Brian,
Hello.
the man of the moment. In fact, you seem to be wearing a rather fetching watch. Look at this. What might this be? This is the Brian Griffin edition of Lensman 2, which you only just received your copy in the last week or so as well.
Absolutely.
Brian, do you hear me?
I do hear you.
You got
great.
this Landon's earphones.
He has,
Good.
yeah. He's
Good,
he's
good, perfect,
headphone in his
perfect.
I've got his headphone. Absolutely.
So maybe we ask you, Brian, how did you meet Landon?
Oh, you know something wonderful about English public houses? It's unfortunate they're being demolished these days, thousands of them. But it was always a place where things could happen. You could get anything in a public house. And one evening, I just, as I normally do, go down to the public house, which is the pub, which is just below where I live. It's very handy indeed. And I sat down at the bar, and there was a gentleman next to me, and then we sort of got talking, and that gentleman was Landon. And Landon, from that point in time, bought everything of everything meaning my books. He bought all my books. He's bought prints, my special editions. He's done everything. And then last autumn or winter, I had a phone call from him, or an email initially, when he said, I would like you to work with me on the Swiss watch at Orage. I went, oh yeah, I would like to probably sort of make you an ambassador. I mean, ambassador for a Swiss watch? I mean, it doesn't happen in photography. Maybe a camera manufacturer possibly could give you something, or a materials manufacturer or equipment manufacturer, but a watch? I think I may be the first ever unique ambassador of a photographer who's an ambassador of a Swiss watch. I think I am, probably.
And then
I think so.
that's led to this moment.
And it's led to this moment, exactly, David.
Absolutely. And even we can see in the background here, I believe these 4 pictures are amongst the selection of photos that whoever wins, the lucky people that get these 3 watches. These are a mere few of the many pictures that they get to choose from that you will also sign for them.
I will. I mean, Landon and I worked together on the choices. I referred to him what he thought would be appropriate, what he liked. He knows my work extensively, and I respect him. I respected his judgment. I offered my choice, and then we chose some of mine and somebody he thought might work better in this circumstance. And so we have 4 major pieces here, and one was really the first time I didn't have any confidence as a photographer. I left art college, and I didn't have any confidence at all that I could really make it. But that's a very long story. And but then I took this photograph for a magazine called Management Today, of people going to work in the morning on London Bridge, and I realised I'd taken quite an exceptional photograph at that time anyway. And it's in major collections now. It's in the Victoria and Albert Museum collection, which is the major one in this country, and many others around the world. So that was my first offering, was the initial part of my career. And then I became obviously very well known as a portraitist. And I took one of Douglas Adams' famous man who, stretch around to there, a famous writer, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, and he wrote that book. He came to my studio, and I was inventing a lot of ways of taking photographs in those days. They're my unique inventions. There, Douglas Adams is sitting within a perspex, circles cut out, placed over his head, and a lot of table tennis balls are thrown on top of that perspex to create that planetary effect. And then the third piece that we decided would be very good to offer was a colour one. And in 1983, I took a photograph for Depeche Mode's second album, and it's probably one of the most famous photographs in the world today, by sheer look, maybe. But I again took me back to that first photograph that I showed you, which was going across London Bridge, the people through the back of a taxi. It was like I jumped for joy when I took that photograph in that field. These are all analog prints. It's the old days, no Photoshop, nothing. This is when you had to do it all in the camera. And hope and pray they would happen, come out or whatever. And then the final one is actually still goes back a long way. It goes back to something like 1986, when I exploded an enormous, the biggest firework I could find in the world, because we had plenty of fireworks to choose from. It was a Spanish firework that was like a massive vegetable. It was like 10 inches diameter, that fired in the air and exploded with this massive explosion over the city of London. And that's the final selection, where it's probably the biggest photograph that's ever been taken in Britain. So the person who has it can actually say that if they want. So you have there you have an amazing selection that was put together by both Araj and myself, which I have to thank them so much. They're an incredible company that has supported me, and I'm so happy to have helped to come here with James, who is a man I've known for a number of years, who has always promoted British photography when he's had a lot of very few other galleries or people around promoting them. James has been extremely brave and has supported British photography for many years. I'd like to thank him for welcoming me here today, and Haraj here today. I'm so happy. And exactly this event is going to be, hopefully, the first of many.
Absolutely. So maybe
we need reasons to make pictures with you, you know.
Oh,
Yeah.
wonderful! It's wonderful.
There must be some
Honestly,
reasons,
Andy, I'm so happy. Yeah, I mean, obviously I've been a photographer a long time. There are 2 photographs that are really major pieces of work that I did at your company 3 months ago. It was with the Raj company, and it was incredible. The 2 or 3 pictures that I've come away with that could be, maybe future masterpieces, may I say.
Sure.
It was wonderful to watch you
No,
work
thank you.
in a very different way. I think all of us were surprised because I believe a lot of people thought that a portrait would be a simple, just take a picture of them. But
Right,
it,
right.
It turned into a lot more than that. It has to be said. It has to
It
be
did.
said.
And you were wonderful company,
You
both.
are a little bit
like the people
frozen,
in the garage.
guys.
You what, sorry?
Your picture is frozen.
Yeah.
Now you're back.
Oh.
Coming back.
We're back.
Coming
We're
back.
back. We're always going to be back.
Yeah, we'll always be back.
We'll always be back.
I'm moving
Well,
us
Landon
around a
back.
little bit here, so don't be surprised when I'm moving things around. But these are the pictures in the background, and we will do probably another live just to show them and talk about them. And we had so much fun doing that. I mean, it's
I'd love to.
amazing. Just in the background, these are all our stuff.
Landon is queuing up
It
a
is.
question that's come
It is.
in. So I have to ask you a question, Brian.
Oh, yeah.
This has come in, which is, the question for you is, how do you see the role of generative artificial intelligence in the world of photography?
Oh,
Is that a loaded question?
that's a loaded question. I like all modern inventions to go away with photography. I really like the old way of doing things because it seemed to work extraordinarily well and produce masterpieces at times.
Do you think possibly that kind of technology, whether it be
Yeah.
digital or these things, I guess it's an art form, and it's
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Is it photography anymore?
I know. I actually have not seen as many great photographs since the digital age in photography happened first few years of this century, and I'm not seeing many great photos. I mean, there must be, but there doesn't seem to be a profusion of interesting images coming into the history of
Do you think
photography.
the ability for them to be, whether so heavily edited with software or just, the fact that you don't need to trust your instincts so much because you can look and see there and then, and do you
Right.
think that has an effect on it?
I think laziness has had an effect upon it, definitely. Digitalization has brought an element of laziness, obviously, into photography, most definitely. And
That's what I wanted to
mean,
say. I think the process of making photographs, the process we had together is worth every minute. And I think that's something you cannot AI. You can't sit together with Brian Griffin, drink a beer, and think about how do we actually make that picture.
Yeah,
And
I guess AI maybe has its place from an artistic performance
Yeah.
to do something that's
it's
art,
good to
but
get
it's
some
not.
ideas.
it's not what
I
I
think
would
it's
call
good.
photography.
It's a good idea generator, but
it
effectively.
is. I mean, you like a struggle. I like a struggle. You need to employ patience.
Yeah.
A strength of conviction. You need to believe in what you're doing. You need all those sort of human qualities to come together to make that masterpiece or that great photograph happen. If things can happen, so readily and so quickly and so easy, it takes away something. It certainly takes away something, David. It really does.
So maybe we should move on. We'll get Landon back in and we will get down to the draw. I think so. We're just going to change over the mics again, and we will be back with you in seconds. And we're back.
We're back.
Good.
All right.
Hello.
So,
Back
Andi,
again.
Are we ready?
I'm
ready with
like-
the random generator?
Ready like a rocket.
All right. I think we have people ready to see what's going to happen with these watches.
Yeah.
So,
3 of them.
where,
So maybe we have a quick explanation of
Yes.
how we're going to do
So,
this.
I'm
Which is that-
jumping in here now.
great. Take the stage there, Andy.
Let me just move
Rock and
around a
roll.
little bit our faces here, because I know it's better to see it later. And I will switch between these two scenes that depending on where stuff is in the screen. Yeah. So 3 watches to win plus prints. Donation value was 1, so £1 bought 1 ticket, correct? And
Right.
funds go to the grants program. How many people took part? Next slide here. There were 676 donors out of 44 countries, and altogether that generated 7,329 tickets, and we raised 8,103.5 Swiss francs, transferred from pounds into Swiss francs. Yeah, that's where we are right now. So how are we going to draw that thing? Moving us back over here again. The draw works like that. So, or let's say the rules are the created tickets, 10 pounds equals 10 entries, 25 pounds equals 25 entries, and so forth. We then have names, and we assign numbers to these names. And then we will have a number generator in order to actually set a range from minimum 1 to, in our case, 7,239, where I will show that later. And we will match this number in an Excel, which Markus Lindstedt, which is also observing our stream right now, and he said that the sound is good, that we then assign these numbers which are generated to our internal numbers and determine the order number and the person which is actually the person who should win that. So this is
Yeah, and I just want to confirm, Andy, that when you're doing that, is that we're only going to show the order number and the individual's first name and where they are from, just for GDPR reasons, and to keep that information confidential. Yeah.
Yes, I blacked out actually names. Okay, we don't want to put in jail, you know. Nowadays, you never know. You never know what's going on. All of a sudden, you end up in jail because you messed up on some data. Okay, so let's go one step further. Time for the draw. Yeah, that's now. I will need to arrange my tools here. The first thing we decided to do is we randomize which of the watch we draw. So I also need to do some back-end exercise here, by the way, to get into my slides, because then we will write down. Dave, you have a pen and stuff like this also for... I mean, we are recording anything anyhow, everything in YouTube, so nothing gets lost. These are the 3 watches, and I will bring in my number generator here to the right side,
Okay.
And the Excel.
We're going to draw between 1 to 3 for just the watches first, correct?
Yes, correct.
So this is going to tell us which watch we're going to draw for first.
So I will do 1 to 3,
Yeah,
You
1
see
is
that?
black,
1 is
2
black,
is yellow,
1 is 2, and 3 is silver.
is special.
Yeah.
Yep.
So the first one should be the 3. So we are doing the silver version first, This one.
Yep. The Brian Griffin limited edition is the first one that we're going to draw for.
Good. So now I'm going
All right.
back into, that is my Excel. I'm going to show you that this Excel is real, you know. There are no family names or something like this, but you see how we put it together. Yeah, that's all the donations which came in, you know. And from there, just that people know that this is real. We actually won first ticket, 1 ticket, and second one donated 11. So it means 10 to 11. So that's how it works. And I have my draw here. So I minimize that again. At the bottom you see that draw panel. I can probably move that in the middle, because then we see actually we are doing the 3 first, everything clear on your side? I'm moving myself.
Yeah, we can. I think maybe you need to move it a little bit more to the left, and
sorry,
there we go. Or just move us
I
there.
nearly messed up, so I'm moving me here and you are to the right, correct?
Great. Yep.
Good, we are good here.
Okay.
Um,
All right, here we go.
okay.
You need to formulate the numbers, right,
Yeah,
Andy?
7,329. So we do it. The third version. So I'm generating a number now. So the number is 1,245. Then I put this number in here, 1,245, and return. And that's Sissy's order number 12595. Landon, your idea was that I write that in here, yeah?
Yes,
I also
correct.
have that here as well.
Yep.
Shall I write it up there or down there?
You can write down you can actually just double click on that document,
Yeah.
and you can put in the order number and the brackets. You can put the individual's name. Yeah.
The order number is 12595, like this, yeah? And then I write the name here.
So,
This is. And I write
Deutschland.
in Deutschland. Ah,
Deutschland. Yeah, Germany. First winner out of Germany.
Country Germany. Also, I'm writing things wrong here. Germany. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Looks great.
I think we have everything recorded now here, correct?
Yep, that's correct. And so we'll be contacting them by email
Yeah.
and notifying them, and also we'll give them a telephone call. Typically, people respond to email much better than to phone calls randomly from Switzerland today, but we'll try both, and we'll be speaking to them within the next day to notify them of winning. So let's move on
Or
to...
you just do a cold call.
Or we just do a cold call.
We did,
So now
we
we
did
need
that
to-
last time, you remember? And someone picked really up.
Yeah,
It was
we-
super fun.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, shall I call the guy afterwards, yeah?
We can try it out. We'll see how the time's running here.
Yeah. Okay, so we need
Select the
to
second color.
we need to now select between 1 and 2, correct? The next one, because
Correct.
is this damn random here? Crazy.
Okay.
Random to the next level.
Yeah.
Okay, so 1 or 2? 2. The yellow one. So now I go back to setting my number 73.
So yellow or number 2.
We are like a lottery, huh?
Yes. Something like that.
Okay, so I press.
We need to have like the
Yeah, the
big
thing,
the big tumbler in the background,
Yeah.
and the music playing, the guy on the drums, drum roll, and and then some graffiti.
Yeah,
come
yeah,
on,
and then
we
an
announce
explosion
numbers.
and fireworks, and I mean, Brian
Yeah.
can make that because he has experience with fireworks and tennis balls. Okay, so I'm
So
generating.
we have someone here with their fingers crossed for yellow
Yeah.
in the chat.
Good. I'm generating now. Yeah. Okay. 4,746. 4746.
46.
Return
Then we-
goes to Taiwan.
Taiwan.
Goes to
Oh,
Taiwan.
what's the order number?
Order number 12250. You don't see it. Sorry. You need to tell me that I need to move you out of that picture.
Oh yeah, our faces are in the way there. Andy.
Not good,
There we go.
sorry.
There we go. There we can see it.
Okay, now
Yes.
12,250. Taiwan. So let me type that in here. That is not the easiest name to spell.
Okay.
Can I how do I copy that out now?
It's all right.
Okay, we'll do that later.
We'll put them back into the chat here at the end so people
Okay.
can see, and we'll update the note here and the description.
So I will
on the
write
YouTube
down
page
that
with the
order
winners.
number.
Yeah, 12250.
See here.
250.
I wonder if any of these winners are here in the chat. If you are, say hello.
And someone is learning today as well that pub is short for public house. So we not just watches, general education.
General education, yes.
Yes.
I need that. Can anybody, can you copy these Chinese characters out from your side, from the list? We do that later.
We can do that after.
Okay.
We do it after.
Yeah.
Let's move along to the final one.
Wait,
Keep
I
them
just
all
need
waiting.
to record
This
that
is
thing here. 4746, 4746. Okay, I think we are good. And
so obviously that leaves only one left.
That
That's
leaves
being
only
the
one
black
left.
Child.
so
So
let
we don't
me,
need to draw for the black dial if it's the only one left.
yeah,
Absolutely.
then I'm moving us here away again. Good. I think everything can be seen, yeah? Yeah, looks
Yeah.
good.
Mhm.
Good.
Yeah, then we generate another one.
Yes.
3,669.
2,669.
Yep.
And return. Britain.
Britain,
UK.
UK.
What do we
Chris.
have as an order number?
12,365.
From the UK.
12365 is the final, and that was Chris. Well, three very lucky people out there. Maybe they.
Arthur is writing, do I have to move to Taiwan now? Yeah.
Wait, let me just
Yeah.
write down that stuff here. 3,669. UK, Great Britain. Oh. Name Chris.
Yes.
There we go.
Good. Yeah, seems like we are good here.
Yes, so, Andy, if you can show us those numbers, if we can see all three of them across there. First of all, congratulations to all three winners. Like I mentioned before, we will be notifying you by email. Hopefully, you've also watched here and saw your numbers get drawn. That'd be the most exciting outcome as well. And yeah, we'll just type these down into the chat now for everybody to see.
Yeah.
So we have. Just get ready here.
12,365,
We have,
12,250, 12,595.
So we have yeah,
Yeah.
12, 4, 5. Yeah, winner number 1. Yeah, winner. Let me just type that in. Yeah, 12, 4, 5.
Order number 12,595.
Oh, yeah. Order number 12.
I mean, I
Five,
know who
five.
this is,
Huh?
yeah?
I know as well,
know.
yes. I think I may have spoken to him many
Shall I
times.
call him?
2.
Yes.
Somebody from in Taiwan. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll just say order
And it's
number
12,250.
12250. Yeah.
And winner number 3.
And winner number 3
is Chris
Chris
from the UK.
from UK.
And order number 12,365.
Number 12365.
Now I can actually
So
copy
there we have it.
out.
There we are. Wow.
A nice spread around the world there.
Yeah, and as we discussed before, the images from Brian Griffin, each of these winners will be receiving 4 prints to go with the watch that will be signed by Brian. So it's an unbelievable value. The prints themselves are worth around 2,300 Swiss francs. So a ton of value there. Add in the watch and the limited aspect of it being a prototype.
Yeah, we expect, with the all zero case backs on there. So yeah, such a great little story as well you can have behind your watch. Obviously, we do get the watchmakers to give the watches a full once over to make sure that they are perfectly usable day-to-day watches and you can use them. Obviously, with that, prototype case back on there. might be the little tiniest of the variations and differences compared to potentially the production one. For example, the dials might have very fractionally different printing on them, because we always tweak things before production.
Exactly.
So you'll have something truly, properly unique as well. And not even all the prototypes are the same either. There's
Correct.
a slight variation.
Yeah.
Multiple iterations of files, sometimes even so much so that when we look at them, we think, well, which one is that again? Because
Yeah.
there's so many iterations.
Yeah, so they're truly special pieces. Andy, how are you doing on your end there?
I'm proud that I dug out the name characters. Yeah, I don't
So,
want to have a Taiwanese having written X there.
Yeah,
So it
no
should
problem.
be, now it's correct, and I think it's the name. Yeah, I'm good.
Okay,
I'm happy
fantastic.
that
So,
we had
we'll go to the
so
last
many
page.
people taking part in that, and yeah, we need to find more occasions and reasons to do that kind of things, and hopefully people enjoy this watch, because it is such a unique product. You know, when we did that watch, I never believed that we will make a squarish kind of watch, but it is too good not to do it when we saw the first time. The design, which was inspired by a Hasselblad, which I then bought in Hong Kong.
Absolutely. Yes, and the classic
Still, by
role
the way,
reversal,
still
usually
trying
you
to
buy
get
the
it going,
watch
yeah.
related to something.
Yeah. And still trying to get
Yeah.
it going. I need someone to repair that Hasselblad for me.
Okay.
You
Yeah.
know, fiddling around
And
with a
obviously, it's
screwdriver
well worth
inside.
saying to anyone,
Yeah.
if you get yourself to London, if you're in the UK and you happen to be in London, or if you are on holiday in London, make sure you come and see the centre as well. It's in central London, very easy to find, and it would be well worth you coming along and having a looking.
Yeah, I think
Yes,
looks like
I think
we
that.
are done.
I think that's us.
Yeah, and before we go, somebody's asking, do you have anything to mention regarding the Atarc Tourbillon?
Watch this space.
What? Yeah, you just hang tight. In about within the week,
10 days.
yeah,
A week
we
to
will
10
have some exciting things, and you may just be able to order one within that
I
time.
mean,
Who
you
knows?
can see
So
already.
stay tuned for that.
You can see it already. You can see already the movement in YouTube.
Yes, you can watch the movement, but we are updating details on sort of these first leaked images of the watch that came out, and we're going to be sharing some, let's say, some highly requested revisions from the
I
community.
think it's fair to say from the day we announced the movement, we had some quite specific feedback from many of the community all over the world asking, I hope it has this, doesn't have that. And I think we should be able to keep the vast majority of people happy with a combination of options, but watch this space, we don't want to spoil the party.
Yeah,
And
we should come back next week with another live stream. What do you think, Andy?
Yeah, let's do a live stream when we talk
since
about
I have reset all my lights and cameras and stuff like that, you know, the only thing I need more cameras.
Yeah, there's a reason to celebrate.
Yeah. I love
Yes,
it.
and
Uncut.
I think I have
Everything should
hooked
be
on your
uncut.
latest cameras.
You know, everything should be uncut in life, not AI'd. Real people in front of real cameras saying real stuff, doing real mistakes. That's what I like. You still hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we
can
can hear
hear
you.
you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we can hear you.
Okay.
Anyway, yeah, so we are going to close this stream down,
Yeah.
and
We'll speak to you next week.
We'll speak with you next week.
Yeah.
With all of the exciting news on Atarc Tourbillon.
Yes. Until next time.
Until next time.
Thank you, Andy.
Bye bye.